How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So glad each and every single one of you can make it. Today's video is another one of those comparison tests where we're going to use some UVLS Clear 4053 High Gloss. This is one that they advertise that you can use as a topper, and 2K Clear. So let's get to it. Again, welcome back to the channel, everybody. So glad each and every one of you can make it. Now, they have other clears. They have their 4050, they have their flat, they have their matte, and they have their gloss. Most of those, a lot of people use as carriers because it's more durable than like their 4030 balancing clear. They're more scratch resistant and everything, so a lot of people use those to mix their colors in and spray their cars. That way it's just more of a one step rather than paint, gloss, so on and so forth. But this 4053 that they advertised is actually a topper. Now there's other testing I'm going to be doing with this. I'm going to take a windshield, I'm going to take a Scotch-Brite pad, and I'm going to scuff it up really good, and then we'll rinse it off under the water, let it dry, and then we'll hit it with this because I heard it does wondrous things for that. But today we're going to be testing this up against the ever popular 2K Clear. You all know it. It's super glossy, it's super shiny and everything, and it just makes the car look wet. And the only tests that I have seen going with the two are few and far between. They'll take something and show it, right? Let's just say this. They'll paint one side 2K Clear and one side the gloss, if you can even find it. Hey, like I said, they're few and far in between. So what I did is I took this, right? And I painted it a satin green. I wanted it to be a flatter color. I didn't have anything that was flat. I wanted it to be a more flat color so I could do it. But I'm not going to do like everybody else. Oh, this side is the 2K, this side is the UVLS. No, I'm going to put a tape line right across it. I'm going to spray the bottom half with the UVLS Clear, and the top half will be the 2K Clear. So I can take the tape off, and when I take the tape off, it might pull a little bit to this because this is just a rattle can, but you'll still be able to see visibly up close the difference. Now, with that stated, that's the test that I have in mind. To you guys that have really sharp eyes, should have already noticed one big difference. You see me sitting here handling this, right? Just in the bottle. There's no smell to it. I guess you could say there's just a very, 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 very faint smell to that. But this, you notice I have in a Ziploc bag. As a matter of fact, it is double Ziplocked. This is not the actual clear. This is the hardener. The 2K Clear doesn't have a smell to it. The hardener stinks. I mean, it's So I actually have it double bagged in there. So that right there ought to tell you there's a big difference off the bat. Something to consider. I mean, I can still smell this dude. This isn't a Ziploc bag. This is the food line equivalent to a Ziploc bag. So that ought to tell you there's an immediate difference. Okay? There is another difference. This is water wash up. You can use regular water or your homebrew paint, airbrush thinner, remover, all that stuff. Airbrush cleaner will take this out. I use just straight water. This is solvent based. So therefore you have to have a solvent cleaner, right? Lacquer thinner or equivalent. So there's another difference. Water based, water cleanup. Chemical based, chemical cleanup. I know, minute differences to some, but to some like myself where I have to keep this stuff inside because this stuff will gel up over the winter time if it gets cold. It does not like being cold. Whereas I could keep this down there in my cabinet in my storage building, although I don't because it doesn't have any smells or anything. I keep it in my closet inside. So that's just a few more things to consider. So first up, I'm going to spray the 4053 And all you do is you mix it with some reducer, which I've got to go in and get. I thought I brought it out. Just a regular 4011 reducer. You milk it to where it's somewhere between milk consistency and water. And I'm going to tape off the spoon and we'll get to it. Got the spoon taped off. Now after I spray, turn you around just a little bit. After I spray this side and allow it to dry a little bit, I'll take tape off, flip it around, that way we can spray that side. That just gives me a little bit of a buffer. I've got the clear mixed up in there. As you can see, it looks like snot, but it's a little bit thinner than milk, a little bit thicker than water. I have my PSI to where it's a constant 22 running PSI. As you see, it goes in really nice and thin, because that's how my airbrush likes it. We'll clean that up in just a second. Test spray. Yep, coming out okay. Now the way you want to apply this is wet. You don't really put a typical thin coat, let it tag for a second and come back with wet. The way they advertise you want to do it is you want it to go on wet, you want it to come kind of bluish looking, bluish tint to it, and then you stop. They say if you do thin coats, it allows the edges to dry, and then as you build it up, you're just building up on that thin coat. Whereas 2K clear, it actually goes on dull looking, and then as you lay it on the wet coat, then the shine comes through. So this is a little bit backwards, but we're going to do it. Well, I'll try to show you what we're talking about. Everything's spraying fine, so I'm just going to hit it with a wet coat, half overlap, put it on kind of wet, and as I hope you can see, it's kind of bluish looking. I'm going to put just a little bit more on. And that's really all there is to it. As you can see, it's no longer green looking. It kind of has a bluish tint to it. So I'm going to set that right there, let it dry. I'm going to clean up my airbrush, and then we'll come back and do the other side with 2K. Got the tape flipped over so we can get to that side, but I got a little greedy. I accidentally touched the clear right there. Hope that comes through. So we'll know that smudge, that fingerprint, comes from me. Wasn't quite dry yet. But I've got the actual 2K clear mixed up, and we're going to spray that. Now this is a little different. Like I said, we have to put on the tack coat. And another thing you'll notice when I do this, the 4053 didn't have that big fog like 2K clear does. 2K clear has a large fog, as you can see when you spray it. And I'm only shooting at 20 psi. So here we go. Just a tack coat to give everything something to adhere to when we do actually spray it wet. I'm trying to keep everything separated. Now I'm just going to put on the wet. And all you do is just build it up until it becomes wet looking, like so. Let it sit for just a second and then hit it again wherever you think you need more. That's all there is to it. That is already done. So now let me clean that up and we'll take a preliminary look at it and see what we have. Looks pretty good so far. I mean, from what I can see, they are very, very close. There you can see them side by side. Let me get everything cleaned up. I just took the tape off. I want to show you something while the sun was out. Here's what it looks like in the sun. There's a perfect angle. The 2K clear and the 4053 side by side. Separated, it looks like the 2K clear is the winner as far as gloss. And now the sun's going down, so we'll be able to see how it looks a little bit differently. As you can see, the 4053 versus 2K clear. That's side by side. No overspray got onto the 4053 from the 2K. I watched it. I made sure it didn't. But there's that. I'll let it dry for a minute while I clean up, and then I'll pull the tape off and we'll see if we can see anything that way. So here we go. Is it, now keep in mind I just sprayed it, so it needs to cure overnight. So if there's any major differences, then I'll make a separate little short video telling you so, or I'll try to edit into this video. But here's what it looks like. Try to get it focused. There's the 2K clear on top, and there's the 4053 on the bottom. Like I said, you have to disregard that smudge. It is very shiny, both of them. They look very good. And then, like I said, that's the reason I want to do this, so you can see them side by side. Don't look at the edges of the 4053. Just look right in the middle, right where that smudge is. And I'll explain why here in just a second. That's where it was wet, like it was supposed to be. I probably got a little bit of drying on the edges. But look at that 2K clear. I mean, that 2K clear is very hard to beat. I mean, but that is so close. Is it a viable option? Only you will be able to make up that mind for yourself. Like I said, just look at the middle. Don't look out toward the edges. And I'll show you why here in just a second. Is it a viable option? For me, yes. And I got two main reasons. Number one is, three main reasons. Number one is the smell. Let's change it to 4. The smell, the storage options. I can keep it in my closet as is in the bottle and not have to worry about it. The cleanup, right? That's number 3, water cleanup, and price. This was, I want to say that this was under $9. I know it was under $9. I just don't remember if I paid $4.99 for it, $6.99 for it, or $8.99 for it. I don't remember, I'm sorry. Compared to a quart of 2K clear with activator is going to set you back anywhere from $40 to $60. Now, how many cars will I be able to get out of this? I have no idea. I haven't really started spraying cars yet. But for me, I know dang well I can probably get 10 cars out of that easily. Easily. I should be able to probably get 20 or 30. We'll find out. I'm gonna start using it. But anyhow, back to this. Here's the differences. Like I said, if you look at just right there and there, it looks good. I probably got some drying there, or that came from what I did next. This was just one or two coats of that put on wet. So I decided I wanted to go back and do just a full shoot. Lay it on wet, let it get nice and blue, air dry it, let it flash, and hit it again with another wet coat. And there's what you get. I did the whole side. Is it as good as a 2K clear? I don't know. You have to be the judge. It is very, very shiny. Come on now. It's very, very shiny. But the details in the leaves of the tree, you can see really good there. And they're just ever so slightly blurred there. So, you have to decide if it's for you. For me right now, it's a very, very good alternative. If you look right there in the middle, I'll go from 2K clear to there with that patch of leaves so you can see the detail in the leaves. You can see that it's just a little bit blurry, not quite as tack sharp. Same on this side. Just ever so slightly blurry. Ever so slightly. Is it enough to really make a difference on a car, on a 1/64 die-cast car? I don't believe so. But I'm going to be trying on some just to see, because I don't know how it's going to react with decals. And that's one of the main things we do, is decals. So, and this is now dry. I mean, I can rub it, I can touch it, and do whatever I want. The 2K clear, I can't do that with it yet. I mean, you can hear it. And it's not leaving a mark, a mar, or anything. It's just that it's not quite as tack sharp. Is that something you can live with on a die-cast car? I certainly believe so. I don't think it's enough to where you'll ever notice it. But as I sit here and really study it, like I said, it's a beautiful clear. It works really good. It's just not as, it's kind of like looking at photos in your old picture albums. You got one that's just a slight off and one that's perfect. You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference that I'm seeing. As you can see right there is the same tree in the reflection. You can see how sharp, how dull it is. And like I said, on the 1/64th car, I'm certain that it really won't matter because the decals are going to be so tack sharp anyway. But I have not tried this on decals yet. I don't know if it's going to want to make the decals bleed. I don't know what it's going to do to it. I actually have some decals that Mr. Paints Wicked sent me, some extra ones. Just some random ones like the Lucky Charms guy and some random words and stuff that I will put on a car. Maybe the one that I painted up. No, I've already clear coated it. I don't want to. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll rattle can a car. I'll strip that same car, rattle can it, flat color, and then we'll put decals on it and do a full spray just to see how it looks. That's the only way we're going to know. Do a full spray and see. So until then, I hope this helps. I don't see any need in doing an update video, but if there's a drastic change, I will. Like I said, there's that same tree right there and there. You have to weigh the options for you. For me, it's enough to switch. When I run out of that, if it works good on the decals, it's enough for me to switch. We'll see. I'm going to spray a whole car like I said. Until next time, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope this might be a little helpful. Just stay tuned for the next one. Who knows what it'll be. Get out there and hunt. Because you don't hunt, you can't find. And I so enjoy doing this. I'm going to hate missing doing it during the winter time. But until next time, thank you so very much for watching. A quick little PS, if you will. Let me straighten you up, or is it me that's crooked? A quick little PS. Again, under 10 bucks. Just to run over the highlights again. Under 10 bucks. But you will have to thin it just a little bit. This is thick as snot. Well, not quite thick as snot when it comes out. So you'll need some thinner. 4011. This is $4.99. This, like I said, is under 10. So you're looking at under 15, 20 bucks for this. Let's just say under $16. Let's say this was 10, this was 5, 15 bucks, okay? For a quart, and this is the hardener. The quart is, of course, bigger. For a quart of 2K clear and the activator that comes with it, because you typically buy it together, anywhere from $40 to $60. And then you're going to, this is automotive reducer in this. So then you're going to have a thinner or a reducer, right? Another 15 to 20 bucks. So you're almost into it for 100 bucks compared to 15. Now again, I don't know how many cars I will be able to get out of this. I haven't started spraying just the cars yet. We'll find out. I'll let you know. But if this is like the typical UVLS clear, I know I can get probably 30 cars out of that easily. For 15 bucks. The 2K clear, I haven't sprayed enough out of the quart to do yet. I think I've done 6, maybe 7 so far. And I've used about that much out of a quart can, which is that big around. So, that tells you anything. But I just wanted to give you another quick rundown. That's just another one of those things to think about. Almost 100 bucks compared to 15. Smell, no smell, bad smell. Clean up, water cleanup. The 2K uses, you have to use lacquer thinner or the equivalent to clean it up. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching.